Greetings, this is this, and I am me, and it was at precisely this moment that my video decided to poof and just dissolve into thin air. That's right everyone. Lost but not forgotten. I recorded a full episode, and I got many things done, many things happened. But will you be seeing those things? No. It's not that I stopped recording. It's not that the recording stopped. I would have been able to tell if the recording stopped. No, the recording continued on for about 45 minutes, as you would expect for one of these videos. It just so happens that for some reason, the video footage after the fact is about 43 seconds long and mainly consists of me being on the menu screen and then clicking to load my save. And then like the second that I would have like started to talk is when it cuts off. So and I don't know if you can see the little recording thingamabobber up in the corner of this video because I'm recording on screen recording mode, but if you can, that just helps prove my point that that's what I'm always looking at up there in the corner when I'm recording gaming videos, and I can tell that it is recording and it's counting the time, and so I know that was there before and it was recording, so we don't know what happened. But guys, basically, if you haven't caught on yet, I played the game for 43 minutes, 45 minutes, 50 minutes, I don't know, and lost all the footage, and there's no going back now, so I'm here to tell you guys what happened. Because like I said, lost but not forgotten. So, you saw where I was at a little bench, and I'm here to recount. I've compiled some of my maps from in-game into one big map. Now I could have just gotten a Hollow Knight map, like image from Google, but I was afraid of it spoiling things for me by having like too many locations on it that I hadn't been to yet. So instead I just took, okay, I gotta change the music, it's too intense. Okay, sorry, I just have Hollow Knight soundtracks playing in the background, so sometimes it might sound like boss fighting music, but and yes, I am very allergic. Please ignore the fact that I sound very allergic, probably. But what was I saying? Yeah. So instead I just took some screenshots of in-game maps that I had in the last episode, and I pieced them together to give us most of the areas that I traversed in this episode that you guys missed. And we're going to go through it that way. So, yes, here we are. As you can see, guys, I had started right at this bench here in Crystal Peak. This was my starting point. And from here I said, you know what? A lot of people told me a lot of things about where to go and what to do this next episode. But, darn it, you know what? I forgot to read those before I started up the recording, and I'm not going to, so I hope I can just remember and find something to do. And so I went on my merry way with the plan to go over, up, over, and down to get somewhere around here in the resting grounds. Because I had remembered that last time I had gotten a new mobility option that would let me ground pound down through shaky ground. And I wanted to find more places that I could use that. And we had found one place in Crystal Peak previously, and it was a complete waste because it just gave me a little roundabout path, and I was like, this is so dumb. But I think people might have said that there were other places that I could use that. I thought they were saying maybe there was something in the resting grounds. Maybe there was something in... I've already forgotten. I wanted to head sort of this way, you know, either down through here, and I was going to go this way, not going to go back around this way. That was my plan. And also I knew that I was on the lookout for little spots like this on the map that would have like a down path that I hadn't gone yet. But I was like, you know, I don't see very many of those. We'll get to them when we get to them. So I start my journey through this room, up and over. And here's where things started to get ugly. Oh, also at this point in time, not mentioning this for any reason, but I had approximately $2,000 in my pockets. Just not mentioning that for any reason. So it was in this room here that I come across some platforming like this, and I mentioned, oh hey, I just started Celeste. It's another platforming game that I'm playing right now, and that one has very similar but slightly different buttons, and so now I'm screwing up all my jumps here because I was just playing Celeste and those buttons are slightly different. But I was doing, you know, kind of okay with the platforming, except for the fact that there was one of these little bug things here flapping around, and when I was jumping like this, wahoo! This stupid thing was all like, patoo! Yeah, exactly like that. And it would shoot the stupid purple crystal spike things, pink purple crystal spikes, either at me or at the platform, which was very problematic. Sorry, here's me. Is that what I look like? But yeah, so these stupid little guys, little bugs, were proving this sort of room right here to be quite difficult. So, I did indeed die in this room. Okay, go back to the bench. Sure. Then, try again. Okay, great. Except my soul dude is like floating around over here. Woo! Woo! This is like the cape sort of soul thing. Ooh, I'm a soul. And it's over there, and the bug thing dude is here. And so I'm busy just chatting away. La-di-da-da-da. Oh, I wonder if I can do this. Oh, and by the way, the whole bottom of this room, if you couldn't tell based off of this picture on the map here, the whole bottom of the room is indeed spiky crystals. So you can't fall off the platforms. So I'm trying to jump, dodge, avoid this guy and its spikes, but also not hit the ground because there are spikes there, and also trying to get my soul back. But the platforms are quite tiny, so it's quite difficult to try and jump fight this guy while he's shooting at me and get to this guy. My spiders, are they helping? No, not really. So basically, you know, it's sad to say, but I did die again. I died again. Had I collected this dude yet? Had I gotten this soul? No, I had not. So, basically, we know where this is going. $2,000. Down the drain. Like that. And then there's a whole bunch of money here at the bottom of the drain, because that's where it all went. Down the drain. Quite unfortunate, I know. And I said that too. I was like, that's pretty unfortunate. I just was not being patient enough and not being careful enough. And basically I was just stupid, and I wasn't, you know, I wasn't trying hard enough to like not die, that I just died. It was really just a case of me just being like, oh, I'll be fine. Like, yeah, no, I'm gonna get it. Like, that thing's not gonna kill me. But yeah, I fell off into the spikes and got hit by the stupid shard spikes enough times that I died. So, there I was back at the bench. And I think at this point, well, I still go this way, right? Because, like, if I just speed run, it'll be fine. And, or, like, I lost all my money now, so does it really matter? And so I kept going this way. And eventually, I made it to here. And I could see, you know, jump over here or big down path here. I tried to jump over here, but I couldn't actually make the jump, and so I fell. And I was like, oh no, man, that stinks. I wanted to revisit what was over there real quick. But I missed it. So now I find myself down here in the resting grounds, which is, hey, you know, that's where I wanted to be. And I'm like, okay, where do I go from here? Like, do I visit over here? Do I just go down? Oh, I remember at the beginning, I was like, I also remember something about the tram cars. People were telling me in the comments, but I didn't remember what. But anyway, that's besides the point. I never actually go to the tram cars this episode, so it was a moot point. I shouldn't have even mentioned it. But anyway, so now I'm down here, and there's a dude there. And he's all like, woo, woo. I think he looked something kind of like this, actually. I know what you're thinking. Isn't that just a demon? Or I know what you're thinking. Isn't that just your main character? A lot of the characters in this game have this general shape, okay? But this dude was tall. Like, I'm like this size. And this dude is like that size, okay? Like, he's a lot bigger than me. And also, he was red. And a ghost. He had all these little, you know, pinwheel things around him. Those little dream little pinwheel orbs. And he's there. And I'm there. And I'm like, okay, dude, am I supposed to fight you? And I thought it was one of those situations where, you know, like, I go and I fight him, but because he's like a dream dude, it wouldn't really matter if I die. You know, I would just like, you know, go back, sort of that vibe. It wouldn't really matter if I fought him and I died. So I was like, yeah, sure, you know, why not? Let's go for it while we're here. Well, let's fight him. Yeah, I died. I died very quickly. And then I thought to myself, okay. So it took me how long to get through here? And I've died. So should I really just continue to like jump down there and try to fight this dude when I'm going to have to keep going through this place over and over again? And then I was like, you know what? Yeah, no, I'm going to, because one, I wanted to revisit here. And also, I was like, when I speedrun this place and I lost all my money anyway, once again, what do I have to lose? So I continued to go through this path for the entire episode. But the next time I got here, which was much quicker, now that I was speedrunning it and just taking the hits, and I get to here, completely just forfeiting my soul down here. I was like, it has nothing anyway. And if I drop down there to get my soul and then go up here, that's difficult. You can't go back up. So instead I just use the thing and it blasts me over here. And this place, there was something here, guys. I know. Spoiler alert. There was something here. I think this was the zone that I went into where there was a little, like a crinkly breaking floor. And so I was like, yeah, perfect. This is exactly what I was looking for. Break through the floor, go down, and then we had a parkouring puzzle. And so it's like go down, and then it's like break through this wall, and then there's going to be some platforms here. And then, wouldn't you know it, there's these stinking bugs again. And I'm like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. So I have to go through here and parkour over this, and the stinking bug is still here. So at first I was doing a little cheese thing, you know, where it kept shooting this corner of this wall, and I was here. I'd broken this. It was here, and I was trying to get my spiders to just go and jump and kill it. I did that for, like, the first attempt, but then I ended up just speedrunning past this dude every other time, because, you know, it was faster that way. But so parkour here. And then you gotta go like up, parkour up onto these platforms. Oh, but also all of these platforms have little spiky spikes on the underside of them. And when you stand on them, they rotate. So you have to like go fast or else they're gonna flip over and impale you with the spikes. You guys remember those types of ones. So like all of these platforms are like that. And so I'm parkouring through here and then I'm parkouring up here and I'm doing such a good job and I'm talking about how I'm doing a good job, but then I there's more enemies up here. And I get killed by those ones. And it was like, oh, ha, ha. That was so funny because she said she was right in the middle of saying how good she was at the game. And then she died. And, you know, it was a funny moment. You had to be there. But basically, go, try again. Really easy, this part. So easy. And then there's a part, it's like, oh, you can go this way? That looks really deadly sort of situation. Or you can go this way, where there's platforms here, and go up. And I was like, well, this way looks like the hidden side path. So I tried to go this way, and then wouldn't you know it, I died. So I go again, and I was like, oh, there's a little, like, soul thing over here. You know those things that, like, emit soul? Like this. They got these little horns again. There was one of these guys over there. And I was like, well, okay, that would have been really helpful for me. But I died, and then I tried to do it again, and then I was like, wait, I'm so stupid, that's the only thing over there, I'm not going to go that way anymore. And so then I went this way instead, and then there was another path, and it was like, oh, this way or this way. And I'll just cut to the chase. I went this way first, that's the way back out. So then I backtracked and went this way. That gives you a little grub worm dude in a jar. You know those guys. And so I went back and I got this dude. Great, awesome, cool. But then I had to backtrack and go back this way, which is the way out. And, whoa, when you get there, there's like a big crystallized bug dude. Like a big crystallized creature. Crystallized mound, actually, is what it kind of is. So there's a big crystal here with a little dude trapped in it. And I break it, and then I get a new power, guys. Yeah, I know. It's a shame you weren't there. I get a new power, but the thing about this power is it sounds exactly like the power that I just got in the previous episode. They're like, tap B and push the down arrow, and you will strike the crumbly ground. And I'm like, I already literally have that. But I believe the way that this one is slightly different is that before it was just like a bash move that would break the floor, but now it's like a bash move with deadly dark soul. So it's more powerful, I think, is what they were getting at. Because you had to have the initial bash down move in order to get into here. So it's kind of weird that they then give you like that again on your way out. But I think what it was is they're giving you an upgraded version of it. Probably something that's like totally not necessary to keep going with the game, but if you remember to go back and get it, it's like an upgraded version, and so that's cool. So I got that, and I was like, wow, awesome. So great. And from there, I went back out, and I went down here, and then I can't remember where this next place was on the map, but there was one other point of interest. I think what I did is I went back down here, I decided not to fight that guy anymore, and I went through here. Now when you go through here, I think there was some of those little like tomb things. You know, they had like little symbols on them and stuff. Like this. You know, like little like flower symbol things and stuff. And it was all crumbly. There was a nice one, and then there was a crumbly, like cracked one that would jiggle. And so when I used my power and I broke that, and when I broke it, it went through. And it unlocked a whole nother area. So maybe it unlocked something here. Or maybe I went over and then down. Or maybe it has something to do with this portion. Ooh, no, there was definitely something here. Yeah, so I found a couple of different ways that I could break through places. And I definitely think one of them, like a lot of them were rounding me back. So like I was opening up some shortcuts. One definitely rounded me back this way. So like there was a shortcut here, I believe. But also, I blasted down through this thing into like a new area. Maybe that was where the new area was. Basically, at some point, somehow, we'll maybe see it when I load up the game for real again next time. Well, yeah, I'm going to be there next time. This is all leading up to where I'm actually going to end up next episode. So basically, I got somewhere where it dropped me down, and it was dark. It was dark, and there were these things, and they were making these noises. They were like, like that. Like, they sounded like zombies, but gross and dying. I mean, that's what zombies are, but like, don't think of like, oh, I'm a zombie. You have to think of like a creepy, like deranged zombie. A deranged zombie. That's the sounds you were hearing, and it was dark everywhere. And all of the little paths everywhere were like crumbly, breaky paths, like every way. And it was kind of like this sort of situation where it was like really like narrow little paths. Like I was as tall as the path, you know, when they make them really narrow like that. And it was dark. And so I was going, and there was like all these different directions. And I think I picked up like a Wanderer's Journal somewhere, and maybe I got something else. I don't know. But then there was, out of the darkness, it was this thing, and it was like this. It was like this. It was like that. And it had these creepy, like this creepy, like oblong, like flat, low profile. Like it was like a big dude, but like it could fit in these tunnels, you know? It's almost like a spider, but like they weren't spiders like the spiders in the other place. But it was really creepy, and that was what was making the noise, and that was the enemy. But don't worry, it wasn't that difficult to fight. So we killed those. I went through a couple of these different paths, and one of them rounds me around to an up path. I jump up. Okay, I think I found one other grub at some point as well. So I've gotten at least 2 more grubs, and I thought that I might have been done collecting grubs, but I'm not. I go to an up path, and it pops me up to this place that is a big open, you know, it's like I'm outside again sort of place. That vibe, when they have like all just like big like space like this. And so then there's like a little, you know, place to enter. And so I go and I enter, and inside is this sort of like willowy looking like person. They kind of looked like this, like willowy, cloaked, you know, almost like a chrysalis. Is that what they're called? Like the butterfly things? It was like, almost looked like a chrysalis type person, but cloaked kind of. And they were all like, and what is the word for if you're sad? Grieving. No, it wasn't grieving, was it? Something like grieving, wailing, but like grieving with a W? I don't remember. There was some person, and they were mourning. No, they were mourning. It was a mourning something. Mourning like this. Mourning with a U. Like, not good morning, but like morning, you know? And they were crying, and they were like, and l'amour. They weren't saying l'amour, but it was something like that. And they said a lot of che and l'amour, and they were very cryy. And this person was all like, oh, star-crossed lovers, oh. And then, you know, I'm listening, and I'm like, yeah, you know, I hear you, dude, I hear you. And then they're like, oh, I have a flower. I have a flower, very, very delicate, glass-like flower, one of a kind, only flower in the whole entire world. This flower, just don't even ever think about looking at this flower the wrong way. It's so delicate, and I have it, and it's the greatest thing in the whole world. But if you could do me a favor, and then they're doing that thing where they like, they're doing this thing. And then like this with their fingers, you know, that thing where they're all like shy, like, ooh, could you do me a favor? They didn't actually do that, but you know, like the tone, that was the tone. And they're like, can you do me a favor, and can you bring this flower to the place where the other person that I was talking about, this Lemoore person or whatever, they died or something, or they're buried. Can you bring this flower? Because that would mean like the absolute world to me. And I'm like, yeah, sure. And so I'm thinking in my head, you know, this is probably one of those things where it's like, you can't die. You know, you take the flower and then you can't die, or else the flower will be broken and you're going to be in trouble and you're going to ruin this person's life. So I'm like, I get it, you know? Yeah, I'll do it anyway, because what's the point of me coming all the way over here if I'm not going to do it, if I'm just going to say no? So I say I'll do it, and they want me to take it to a place called the Queen's Garden. The Queen's Garden. And so I'm like, okay. Take the flower to the Queen's Garden. I leave. I go back down into the dark tunnel cave things. Because I'm like, you know, I'm going to end the episode, guys, so that you guys can help me and tell me where the Queen's Gardens are. But before I do that, I just want to check this one extra path over here that was really dark that we left off last time. I think this is where the other grub dude was, in the little jar. So yeah, I'm like, I didn't know it was over there. But I'm like, there had been one other path. It's right down here. Let me just check that first. And then we'll go back up to the bench. We'll end the episode. You guys can help me out where the Queen's Garden is. But, so I go down here. I go through this place and, you know, I'm thinking I'm going to be very careful. Oh, because I find out from Che that it's not just you can't die. You can't get hit. You cannot take any damage while carrying this delicate, beautiful flower. Okay? Not one hit. And so I'm like, I'm just gonna check this last path. I wander on over here, do-de-do-do-do, and then all of a sudden, it's a little rickety right here, right under my feetsies. Oh no, it's a little bit rickety. Whatever will I do? And then it's just like, spikes. And I die. Well, I mean, I get hit. So little did I know that I had wandered into a path that was this narrow. So like, you know, no room for you to jump or anything. And every like other step was spikes. And not even like a pit of spikes that's like lower down. Like this. No, the spikes were right where your feet would be. So you can't even... I noticed that the ground was shaking and I tried to get away. But there wasn't an easy way for me to get away quickly, because the second the ground broke, the spikes have hit you and you have taken damage. It's like the thing you need to just, you have to dash your whole way through. Yeah. So I died. And then I immediately went back to see what Che had to say, now that I had just basically ruined their life for a second time. Because the first time their life was ruined was when that other person died, obviously. And they were like, oh God, my heart. But I do have a second flower if you'd like to try again. And so I was like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to do that. Sure. And so I take the other flower, and then I stupidly, I'm like, yeah, but you know what? I want to go and check out this side first and go over this way. So I go over here, and I died again. So then, well, you know, I broke the flower again. And so that's when my brain finally started to work. And I thought, you know what? How about before I get another flower this time, if they even will give me one, I finish exploring this area. And then I go get one. So I think, yeah, this is where I got the other grub thing. I don't think I got anything else that was that special or important. I got a new skill. I got 2 grubs. And I got this flower. I think that's it. So then, towards the end of the episode, I'm going back up there to the hut. I do get another flower, so they might be unlimited. They might not be. I'm not too sure. And there's a little bench outside the hut, and I plopped my little butt down there. And I said goodbye to all of you. And then I realized later that night when I went to edit the episode that none of that had recorded. But anyway... wow, for one, it's pretty impressive that I managed to take up almost the same amount of time as the original episode would have taken. I really hope that you stayed with me, because there was, you know, you know, you're gonna have missed a lot if you skip this one and you just go to the next one. So, I mean, that's on you. But anyway, yeah, so my goal for next episode is going to be, I'm going to be starting in that place, and it's going to be to get that flower to the Queen's Gardens. And I had pondered where those might be, but I wasn't too sure, so I wanted a little bit of input from you guys. That's why another reason I wanted to make this episode, before I just go on and say, oh guys, it's really too bad that, you know, we lost a whole bunch of gameplay, because I still wanted input on this. So oh goodness, what the heck is this? I don't even know if I've heard this song yet. I was thinking, so I'm somewhere around here, I believe. Somewhere around here right now to start the next episode. And I need to make my way down to the Queen's Garden. So I was saying, I know the Queen's Station is over here, but I don't think that's where the Queen's Garden is. I'm thinking it's probably somewhere around here where we have the palace grounds. So correct me if I'm wrong, but that's where I'm assuming I'm supposed to be headed. But also, that's a pretty long trek. Are you guys thinking that maybe it's completely pointless for me to try to do this, and I'm just probably, like, it would be far too much of a hassle for me to try it? Because it's okay if that's the case. You guys can say that too, and maybe I'll give it like 1 or 2 tries, but I won't try for forever. I don't even know if there are endless tries. But yeah, I'm assuming it's probably somewhere around there. It could maybe also be somewhere around this section because it has royal waterways. So yeah, basically I was just wanting a little bit of input if anyone had any. Like, you don't need to tell me, you know, the exact pathing, but if I could know like sort of what area it's in, and or like what, you know, way to sort of be going, and like if I found it already. I probably haven't found it, right? It's probably like its own place. So then it would be helpful to kind of know which place to go towards in order to get there. Maybe I can't even get there yet. Like, maybe I don't have the ability. Maybe you have to be able to swim in the poisoned water or whatever. I don't know. But I think that covers pretty much everything that we missed last episode. So yeah, we started here and we ended somewhere around here. I didn't actually go that far. I don't think I went through any of these areas. But I needed this stuff to be on the map so that I could contemplate it, you know, with you guys for where the Queen's Gardens might be. So, yeah, I'm sorry that we lost an episode. I hope that you understood some of it. I feel like a lot of you guys that are watching have already played the game, so I'm banking on that for the understanding aspect. Like, you're gonna know what places and what platforms and what enemies I'm talking about and stuff, you know, like the flippy platforms and all that, because you've seen it already. But if you're really confused, I'm sorry. But that's it for this episode, I guess. Hopefully it doesn't ever do that again, because it's really, really... It's really unfortunate when that happens with games that I can't, like, undo my progress on. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next episode. Bye-bye now.